Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone to roll well. Peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. All right, this lesson, I'm going to play this clip, right, which this is subliminal messages from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. Okay, and it was a clip that I uploaded to Instagram, and that was, I uploaded that months and months ago to Instagram. I reposted it from somebody I saw on my Explore page, and I was finally able to find it on YouTube. I didn't search that whole time, but today I was searched for a good amount of minutes, to try and find this. And I did, finally. They probably kept taking it down. But the video, it's slowed down so you can read what the things are saying. But if you play the actual game or see this scene, regularly, like in the game, it's going to skip right past it. It just flies right past it. You don't even get to see any of that. So the only reason, basically what it does is they slow it down so you can read it. All right. You see how quickly they were skipping through all that? But now the person slowed it down, I'm pretty sure. Or did they slow it down? Or I don't remember exactly. I haven't played that video game in a while. So they might not have slowed it down, but either way, they put it right in your face, right? If the game is like this and it's slowed down, then, so be it. Okay, but people still don't see it. The elites, they put stuff like this right in your face and nobody notices it. Even if it's on the screen for 10 minutes straight and it tells you something, like false flags or something, it tells you that was a false flag right in your face for 10 minutes. 10 minutes it could say that this is a false flag, and people would still, think it's a joke or just, it's just part of the game. People are so gone, man. All right, a lot of people, and I'm talking about Israelites mainly, because that's all that matters is the Israelites. All right, specifically the elect. And 2/3 of our people have no clue what's going on. Some of our people even know that they're slaves to the elites and they're satisfied with it, man. They don't care. Water fluoridation. False flag operations, chemtrails. Secret societies. Which that was a false flag. Twice. Or for sure once. I'd say twice though. And Pearl Harbor, either Pearl Harbor was them bombing themselves, or they knew the attack was coming and they didn't do shit about it. Okay? 9/11 was an inside job. They do false flags because they know fear is the best motivator, and they use fear to motivate people to do what they want. Okay? And they also use a term or a thing called gradualism, all right, which I'm going to look up. Gradualism. Gradualism, a policy of gradual reform rather than sudden change or revolution. The hypothesis that evolution proceeds chiefly by the accumulation of gradual changes in contrast to the punctuationist, there we go, motto. The belief that changes in the earth, such as development of species, have taken place slowly. Well, basically what I mean by that gradualism, because outside of the biology, it'd be the first one right here, not the biology one. A policy of gradual reform rather than sudden change or revolution. So instead of, for example, the mark of the beast, the RFID or NFC microchip implant, instead of them just coming out of nowhere saying, we got this chip, it's mandatory, take it. Instead, They bring it out, they talk about it, but they don't do anything with it yet. They start gearing people to get rid of cash and move towards checks, then from checks to credit cards, from credit cards to the credit card with the chip, to self-checkout, to optional microchipping, to even before that, microchipping your animal, right, your pet, like your dog. And they put it in video games and movies, and the best movie I can think of off the top is Upgrade. All right, they show you that predictive programming. Okay, there's also what is that show called? Black Mirror. I think it was on an episode of that. There was a chip implant. Futurama. On the very first episode of Futurama, there is something called a career chip. All right, I'm gonna just look it up. It's literally on the very first episode. See? And they put it in your hand, in your right hand specifically. All right, but it's basically a chip that they put into your hand, okay? Which that's exactly what the microchip is, the mark of the beast, okay? And they can put it in your hand, your arm, your back. They can put it in your head, like in your forehead. They can put it anywhere, okay? But the main place people get it is in their right hand between their thumb and their index finger. Okay, but this is just to show you that they do predictive programming. They also had another thing in this show called the iPhone. Not like the iPhone as in... like iPhone as in like Apple iPhone, but it was literally called EYE phone, iPhone. And they got it was basically the mark of the beast in their head, because it would project from their eye, a screen. Okay? So they're gearing up, man. They've gradually been getting people used to these ideas of being chipped. Okay? That's just what they do, man. That's actually it, I'm pretty sure, for the messages in it, but... yeah, that was it. But... that is the point, okay? They put these messages in TV shows, and these TV shows can be adult TV shows. They can be children's shows. They can be toddler shows, which that could be children, but I'm saying like babies even, all right? Like toddlers, they'll sit there and there'll be predictive programming in that. There's a lot of times where they showed 9/11 before it actually happened. Like a lot of times. It's because everything's set up, man. All right? There's no such thing as coincidence, and there's no such thing as luck. Okay? Everything is set up to happen. Okay? And, I mean, a lot of you people out there, you either don't believe in God or you don't care. And I'm going to tell you now, just to put this out there, Yahweh is the name of God, and Yahweh Shai is the name of his only son, his only actual begotten son, okay? Because there's people that are metaphorically called son, like the nation Israel, but they're not legit his son like Yahweh Shai is. But what I was going to say is, to put this out there, any theory that you may have about afterlife, it all goes back to God existing. Now here's why. If you're an atheist and you don't believe that God exists, you do have to believe that at one point that the world was not here, and it was just a black, emptyless void. And in order for something to form, there has to be something to create it. So, you can't form elements and particles and atoms out of nothing. Okay, so that proves right there that God exists. And if you believe aliens created the planet, well, who created those aliens? It's all going to go back to God, whether you want to believe it or not, or whether you want to accept it or not, I should say. Okay? And another thing about evolution, the theory, notice how it's still called theory of evolution or the Big Bang theory. Okay? The theory of evolution is actually a hoax because Charles Darwin, he put together an orangutan and a human, a modern human. Just the modern human looked different, from how some people looked, because not everybody looks the same. They don't all have the same exact skeleton structure. But it was a hoax, and he put those parts together and said that this was an ancestor of the human race, which was a lie, and that was later found out. So if he has to forge together lies for people in general to believe it, that clearly tells you that that's not it, man. That it lacks so much proof to the point where he has to forge together lies. And that also proves that the so-called white man is Esau Edom, because he's the forger of lies. He's the wicked of the planet, and he loves doing that. All right? They love lying. They lie all the time. Now, Christianity, that ain't the truth either. Christianity doesn't go off the Bible. Okay? Just because somebody's reading the Bible doesn't mean they're a Christian. Okay? The Bible only deals with one nation of people, and that's the Israelites, right? Which are collectively known today as so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Specifically, people of so-called Negro and Indian descent. Okay? But it's all about your patrilineal. So if you're an Israelite man, you have a chance to be part of the 144,000. Lord willing, we are of the 144,000. And if you're a man, woman, or child of the nation of Israel, you have a chance to be part of the 1/3. Okay? But there is no such thing as aliens. The word alien just means foreigner. Okay? UFOs, what the world calls UFOs, that's the chariots of Israel. Okay? When Yahushua is coming, when he comes back, he's going to come back with those so-called UFOs, which the angels are in, and they're going to deliver the elect from the nuclear destruction. Okay? Now, you don't have to believe this. It doesn't matter. Okay? Because at the end of the day, somebody's right. All right? And I'm not saying that proud or boastfully, but at the end of the day, somebody's right. And whether you believe in whatever they're saying or not, if they're right, it's going to come to pass. Okay? But this lesson is kind of just all over the place. Just kind of going with the spirit. But the point is, there are people that are set up on the left-hand side that rule this planet right now. Okay? And those are the elites. Okay? I actually forgot to pull this up. Should be about 13 bloodlines. All right. Couple of them on here, I guess. The Freeman, Reynolds, Bundy, Kennedy, DuPont, Rothschild, which the Rothschilds are the main ones. Van Dunn, Collins, Rockefeller, and Kennedy, Russell. Notice how they deal with a bloodline, because that's what matters. That's what determines what you are. Your father's lineage. Okay? Your father's lineage. Wow. All right. And another, this actually slipped my mind until just recently. In the game Assassin's Creed, the whole game, series, you're trying to stop the Templars. The Templars represent the Illuminati. Okay? In fact, there was a quote that I brought a while ago, but I'm bringing it out again. I think his name was Torres. Quote. I think his name was Torres. Yep. His quote about slavery. And this was a guy that was a Templar in the video game Assassin's Creed Black Flag. His quote was, "A body enslaved inspires the mind to revolt, but enslave a man's mind and his body will follow on naturally, efficiently." And that's what they've done. Okay? Because instead of having Israelites on plantations, they instead enslaved our minds. Okay? In 1681, That was the first year when black and white people came on the scene. Okay, because prior to 1681, there was no record or anybody that was calling themselves white or black, at least in a term as in physical appearance, because so-called black people are different shades of brown. Even if they're extremely dark, they're still a shade of brown. So-called white people are usually pink or red, okay, or sometimes light brown, but primarily, and that's only some of those ones are probably confusion of face or people, probably Israelites, but for the majority, and also when it describes Esau, when he comes out of the womb, he came out red. The only people that come out red when they come out of the womb, even purple sometimes, are so-called white people. All right, so so-called white people collectively, other than the confusion of faces and the tares, are the Edomites of the Bible. Okay? So let's get into some scriptures here. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but we're going with the Spirit. All right. This is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. Now, who are the wicked on the planet? Let's go to Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. Okay, so the wicked on the planet are the Edomites. All right, starting with the elite banker families. Okay, some of them, if not all of them, call themselves Jewish because they are Edomites from the tribe of Amalek. They are imposters. They are not Jews. Okay, so all you people out there saying you hate Jews, this and that, or talking about Jews, they're not the Jews. They're not the people of the Bible. Okay, they're the Edomites. They're the Amalekites living in the land. They fit none of the prophecies regarding the true Israelites. Okay, they don't fit the descriptions of the true Israelites. They don't fit anything like that other than Esau, Edom. Okay, and somebody saying that they're not Jews and proving it with biblical facts or scriptures, which is facts, all right, whether you want to accept that or not, it is truth, okay, and with relics and all that such, and you still want to call them anti-Semitic, then you're just an ignorant reprobate, really, okay? First of all, there's nobody in the Bible named Sem. It's Shem. Shem. There's a good amount of nations that come from Shem, okay, which was the son of Noah, okay, because those people in the land of Israel are still from Shem, but they're Edomites, they're not Israelites, okay. The real Jews primarily are known today as so-called Negroes, okay. So-called Negroes are not African, okay. They dwelled in Africa because they fled Roman persecution after 70 AD, the destruction of the Second Temple. They fled mainly into West and Northwest Africa, okay, but also into Europe, some into Asia, etc. Okay, it's not hard to understand if the Spirit's with you, man. Lord willing, if you understand this, that we're of the 144,000, okay, and can be delivered. So the wicked are ruling the planet, but why? Because the Israelites constantly went off, okay. Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. All right? So, one of the curses was basically going into slavery, okay? Being ruled over by the heathen nations, which are regarded as nothing, which we will see when I read these scriptures, which were from the Old Testament, taken out by the Protestant church, which were originally in the King James 1611 Bible, which is the true translation. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. And after these Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures. Of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. So that tells you right there that there's a people that were chosen that were separated from everybody else, which is the nation of Israel. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said," Ezra is saying thou hast said, and he's talking to Yahweh. Yahweh said this, "that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands." And why are they called the only begotten? Because he only chose one nation to be the God over. Okay? He's the creator of all earth, Yahweh. That's his name. But he chose Israel to be his people, man. "If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?" All right, and Esau, Edom came back into power in about the 14 to 1500s. All right, the Renaissance era. All right, that's when they came back into power. They started destroying all the icons and painting over them and all the relics. Okay, they destroyed a lot of relics, proving who the Israelites are and all that. Okay, they really did. And there's some of them that they're hiding. They destroyed a lot of them, but Yahweh allowed some of those relics to stay. And then there's some that they painted over as well. I think we can read about that in Maccabees 3. I want to say 48. Yep. This is 1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48. "And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images." So they start painting over them and painting images that look like them and put them up as our people. Okay, the Israelites. If you read the Bible, Yahushai, which is his true name, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which Jesus Christ goes back to Serapis, Christus, all right, which is also where they really get that image of him anyways. If you read the description of him in Revelation chapter 1, 13 to 15, it clearly tells you that he's a so-called black man with white woolly hair. Okay? And red eyes. So who the hell is that person that they keep putting up as the Messiah? Well, first of all, if you people in the world want that to be your Messiah, okay. He's not going to come back and he's not saving anybody because he's not real. Okay, Serapis is not real. Yahushai is real, and he's only coming back for the elect. He doesn't care about the other nations, just as his father Yahweh doesn't care about the other nations. Okay, Yahweh literally, it just said that he referred to them. Ezra said, "Thou hast said," meaning Yahweh said, that they're like spit. So obviously he doesn't regard them for much. Okay, that's clear. Now, the elites know the truth, all right, or at least to an extent, because in order to know the truth, they have to, in order to lie, they have to know the truth, okay? So, us speaking this truth, they're going to come for us, man. Whether they're able to get us or able to kill us or whatever, that's up to Yahweh, okay? But they're going to roll on the men of the Lord. They're going to take the word off the internet and off the streets and off everything, okay? That's why Isaiah 55 tells you to seek Yahweh while he may be found, okay? Implying that there's going to be a time when he won't be found because the elites are going to roll on the men of the Lord, okay? And Lord willing that the martyrs, which are still of the elect, whoever they may be, can have swift, quick, and relatively painless deaths. Okay, Lord willing, they can, because they're giving up their lives for the truth. All right, and the rest of the elect are going to get beamed up, but they're going to go through tribulation too. This is Revelations 12 and 12. "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." Okay, he has a short time. What does it mean by that? Because his kingdom is going to be destroyed. Okay, let's go to 2 Ezra, back to chapter 6, where it said that the other nations were spit. This is 2 Ezra 6 and 7. "Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay? So that's why. Going back to Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right, because he knows that his kingdom's going to be taken down, man. All right, once Yahushua gets back, those nukes are going to destroy America. The elect are going to be gathered up just scarcely before the nukes hit. And then Jacob is going to be established, and he's going to reign forever. Okay, Jacob being the nation of Israel. Okay, the righteous. The people that were created to be righteous but have done the complete opposite basically our whole existence. Okay, Esau, he's wicked. The Edomites, they're wicked. They're doing their job, though. We're the nation that has not done our job. We were created to be righteous, and we've done pretty much everything but that. All right? But Yahweh, still being very merciful, has decided to give us salvation through his son Yahushua, by having his son Yahushua and Yahushua himself going through the pain and suffering that he had to go through, dying for the nation of Israel. Okay? Specifically the elect. And that's why we have grace. So don't abuse grace, man. Yahushua didn't die for your sins so you can just keep sinning because you're under grace, because he died for you. Okay? That's not what that means. That's why he tells people to sin no more. What is sin? Transgression of the law. So, you're under grace, which means if you make mistakes, you will be forgiven. That still doesn't mean that you shouldn't be scared of Yahweh. You should fear, and you should pray for forgiveness every time you go off. But we make mistakes, but you still have to try the best you can. Okay, so Lord willing, this is edifying the elect. I know that was kind of all over the place, but I was just going with the Spirit. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Give honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone of well. Peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. And if you're wondering where that precept is that says sin is transgression of the law, go to 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Read that verse. Shalom.